Hi, I'm Stephanie Mann. I'm the Executive Director for Safe Kids Now, and I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm with Ansar Mohammed, and he has been very much involved in community work. He is a community activist. Tell us a little bit about how you got started. What is your biggest concern, and what do you see as some of the problems? So let's start with, how did you get started in the work you're doing as a community activist?
Okay, this goes back to many, many years ago. As a teenager, beginning at that point. Being very, very rebellious. Found myself in institutions in California. And as that rolled over into adulthood, had established a certain pattern which continued to take me in and out of institutions. And at one point, I met a gentleman who began to stop me just for a moment. He asked the question, say, my brother, you want to be here the rest of your life, or do you want to go back out and see your family? So I made the choice to come back out and see my family. So he said, you have to sit still for a minute. You're here for a reason. Sit still for a minute and try to find out, what it is that you need to do to be out there with your family and to stay there. At that point, I began to do introspection. Because before then, I related everything externally. If it hadn't been for this, I wouldn't be in the position. This person hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here. Refusing to accept my responsibility. It took a while, and it happened in stages. But I began to apply certain information that was given to me. Because I recognized that if I was going to change, my thinking had to change. Because that's what motivated my life. And I think that was one of the most that I got from the conversation with the older gentleman, is that he turned me on to the fact that me and me alone has to be responsible for everything that I create.
Wow.
I began to look around and see what are some of the things that I could do to make a difference. Realizing that I didn't have a lot of experience. I just started volunteering.
That's a good place to
because
start.
The concept he had given me was like, help somebody else and you help yourself.
Right.
And it was through my helping and volunteering I began to meet people. And as I began to meet people, my consciousness began to raise.
Oh.
And I began to come into full realization as a human being that I had a lot to contribute. My wife and I got married, had children. My wife had a couple of children. We got all the children, put them together. And we started a nonprofit.
Oh.
The first nonprofit we started was called Unity Organization Incorporated. And what we did was we went to those organizations and groups that we seen in the community that were trying to do things that we felt good about. We went in and assist them to make it happen. We have a real problem. So it behooves us to begin to take some controls. I was reading an article just before coming down, and it talked about our need to be responsible for our health. And health concerns are a big issue.
It's a huge issue, right.
We're responsible for it, so we have to take responsibility for our own health care. The doctor has to become a co-partner, not the dictator. Because we're talking about your life. This is my life. So just simple things that we can take control of. And as we begin to take control of those things, then we create a different environment for our children.
That's right. It's going to start with us, the adults.
Yes, it has to.
Right.
These babies, I would not want to be a child now. I had a wonderful childhood. I would not want to be a child now.
Yeah. We've made it very difficult.
Very, very difficult, So, again, I have to appeal to my fellow adults. Let's get it together. I just wanted to say in closing that I'm very thankful for minds like yourselves, and for workers, because that's what keeps the light on. We all do that a little bit. And it makes a world of difference.
It does.
Yes.
It really does.
Well, I think that's what we're trying to get across to the viewers, that You know, anybody can be the power of one, like
That's
you
right.
have been. And your ripples go out.
That's right.
And good will overcome evil every time.
That's right.
But we all have to do the outreach.
That's right.
We all have to make a stand here and speak up for the positive things that are going on in our community. And I would just like to add that people can go to www.safekidsnow.com and join us. Join up and find out more information and get some ideas on what you can do in your community. You'll get some ideas from the website, but don't hesitate to, we have a teleconference call once a month, the last Monday of the month. People can call in and ask their questions. We're here to support you. We're here to support each other because we want good to overcome evil. And the only way it's going to happen is going to happen through people.
That's right.